Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Tickety12 here back in PlayStation Source, and yes, it is the first of the month. That means your rent is due, but besides that, we do have some brand new games that came to the service of PlayStation Now for September of 2020. So without further ado, we got a whopping 4 games added as well, so a little bit more than the usual. Let's go over the more than usual amount of PS Now games that got added to the service, as well as the quality of them are very top notch this episode. Starting off here, let's start at the top. Let's get into some horror. Of course, next month it is October. That means you can play Resident Evil 7 this month on PlayStation Now with your subscription. Step into a Resident Evil experience quite unlike anything you've ever encountered, as the series embarks on ambitious approaches that plunges you neck deep into an adrenaline-pumping nightmare. Trade the series' classic third-person gameplay and stylized visuals for an unsettling, realistic first-person adventure filled with a grueling atmosphere, stomach-churning design, and a hauntingly unhinged cast of new characters. Set among the isolated rural estates of America's Deep South, nothing is quite as it seems, and nowhere is truly safe. So this game, of course, I believe this version as well, considering that is a PS4 game, I'm sure you will be able to, of course, download them just like any other PS4 game on PS Now, but you should be able to also play this entire game in VR if you have a VR. So very good stuff right there for the PSVR crowd. You guys can get essentially another PSVR game with this month's rotation, and that, of course, being Resident Evil VR mode and stuff like that. But overall, I've heard very, very good things about this. Very timely because, of course, we have Resident Evil 8 Village coming out around January of next year. So it looks like this is very timely for that whole thing. And this is definitely the one that I really want to jump into just because, I played Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, loved those overall. And looking at Resident Evil 8, of course, it does have a lot of narrative stuff from Resident Evil 7. So it seems like I may be having to play Resident Evil 7 if I'm going to play Resident Evil 8. But overall, very good series, very good game to pick, and you can stream it or download it onto your PS4 with PlayStation Now. Next up here, we have a game in a franchise that when it first came out, I had no ties to, nor was I ever looking at this franchise in terms of another game. But now I have my eyes fixed on this after Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is, of course, Final Fantasy 15. Join Prince Noctis and his closest friends as they fight against the Empire in an effort to take back their fallen kingdom. A unique fantasy world teeming with exotic wildlife, nefarious beasts, and ancient treasures lies in wait. Wield devastating magic and powerful cooperative attacks in a tactile real-time battle system to crush those that stand in your way. Discover and modify new weapons and armor as you go, developing new skills and strengths with each successive victory. Of course, friend of the show Christian Buckley has talked a lot about Final Fantasy, and this was his first, I believe, or one of his first Final Fantasies that he's ever experienced, and he actually really liked 15. I have yet to experience it. I definitely am interested in it. Like, I definitely want to try it out, and this seems like my perfect avenue to do so. Who knows, maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just wait till Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2, who knows, but I am at least intrigued by Final Fantasy 15, and I feel like those that really got into Final Fantasy off of the remake, I think that this is a very nice, way to experience another modern Final Fantasy that is not just 7, you know what I'm saying, because I know the other ones, they have like a different combat system. I know this one is pretty close, I think, to remake as far as I'm aware, not really, that confident and when I say that, but I do, know that sentiment that, a modern Final Fantasy 15, is most closely to 7 Remake, the most modern Final Fantasy. So overall, very cool stuff here, very interested, and if you guys want to play this, of course, PS Now, subscribe to it, and make sure to download or stream Final Fantasy 15. Next up here, I used to watch this a ton with my dad and my grandpa, but now I definitely don't, but in case you do, WWE 2K19 is your third PS Plus game for the month. Take on or play as WWE and NXT's most popular superstars and legends in one of the franchise's biggest rosters to date, in a variety of match types and options, extensive creation capabilities, fan favorite modes, and much more. Includes an all-new My Career experience and new game modes such as 2K Towers and the return of 2K Showcase, highlighting the return of Daniel Bryan. So I don't know a lot about wrestling games, that's the thing, guys, you know what I'm saying. I know this one was released last year, of course, hence the name and everything, and as far as I think that people in the wrestling community in terms of gaming are, having a big uproar, I guess, in terms of all of the, WWE 2K titles kind of play the same, and there has been a lot of really good ones that came out in a while, and of course that's the same thing with 2K as well, like from the NBA side. So I guess, So this, I don't know. I mean, hey, if you want to try out a WWE and you haven't, I guess now would be a great option with WWE 2K19 on PS Now, which you can of course stream and download. But I don't know if this is going to be the one that I think a lot of the hardcore community kind of vouches for. I think this one is received pretty poorly overall. Not sure. If I'm wrong, let me know down below. But in case you want to try it, it is with your PS Now subscription. You can try out WWE 2K19. And lastly here, we have another game here that I've actually seen a lot of times and looks pretty interesting. This is of course Observation. This cinematic sci-fi thriller told through the lens of a space station's artificial intelligence. Take on the role of Sam, an AI system installed on the low orbit space station called Observation in 2026, and take control of the station's control systems. A mysterious event has caused the station to lose power and forced Sam to reboot. With most of your systems offline, you must work with the only crew member you can find, Dr. Emma Fisher, and attempt to restore your systems to discover the fate of the station and its crew. So I did hear about this game a few years back, and it seems like it's gotten a lot of positive reviews in it. Like, it seems like a lot of people, generally enjoy it and everything. Of course, being published by Devolver Digital, love them as well. So overall, I think this might be a really cool single player thing that I might actually check out maybe. I don't know, we'll see. We got October coming around, maybe a little spooky vibes and stuff like that. Get to be a AI in a space station. I don't know. If you are like me and want to check it out, again, it is on PlayStation Now. And actually, all of these games that we went over today are all from the PS4 era, so these will all be able to be downloaded onto your system. If you don't want to stream any of the games and your internet's not that well for streaming, you can of course download them and enjoy them on the local type of format. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the 4 PS Now games. I'll run them from the top just once more. We have Resident Evil 7, Final Fantasy 15, WWE 2K19, and of course Observation, which will all be playable on PlayStation Now via your subscription. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you guys feel about these games? Do you think it was a good PS Now month? Think it was a bad one? For me personally, I'm looking at Final Fantasy 15 and RE7 and maybe Observation as well. WWE, I think I might not play, but hey, those 3 are definitely enough to keep me satisfied. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you guys feel the same. And make sure also while you are down there to check out our description where you can find links to our Twitter, Discord server, as well as our Anchor link. That way you can listen to our long form content in podcast format. Those of course being Road to PS5, where we are going over PS5 news and topics leading up to release of the PlayStation 5, and other Road to podcast series as well in development that are dedicated to your favorite PlayStation IP. And also before you go, make sure to consider hitting that join button or link below in the description as well to become a member of the channel. You can become a $1 tier or a $5 tier for the Prince tier and King tier respectively, and get access to really cool emotes, emojis and stuff like that, and channel badges on streams and on comments as well. You can of course be amongst the homies that are of course Caleb Kaiser, Bashful Brody, and of course the homie Owen. Like the video if you enjoyed it, ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload or stream, and stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.